Pull that door for me when you walk by.
Oh yeah.
The wind keeps it open.
All the time.
I gotta figure out how to tighten that thing. What's going on? You not on the phone, huh? What happened Monday?
What you mean?
You weren't at work. I want to know what happened. I want to know why you weren't at work. When everybody else was at work, you called, I guess, on Sunday or texted on Sunday and said you couldn't come to work. And I guess I'm asking why. So that's a valid reason. You knew. When did you find out you were going out of town? I guess what I'm asking is you didn't think it was a big deal to call up and say I won't be at work.
What you mean?
I mean what I'm saying, Brandon.
No,
I'm telling you that you were expected to be at work Monday and you called like it was nonchalant, no big deal, and said I won't be there. You didn't care about your holiday pay because you gave that up. Yet you can't afford to go get a TWIC card. And I'm tired of it.
I'm waiting on my I'm waiting on the thing to come back. It was in Chris' name.
You got so much money you can afford to give up holiday pay, then I figure you can go get a TWIC card.
Brian.
Chris
had
I am not playing, Brandon.
Chris had to check in.
It's an expectation of the job.
What are you talking about, Brian? I mean, I'm telling you, like, Chris had.
Okay, so when did you find out that you weren't going to be at work? You know, that you're out of. Apparently, you had no plans on coming Monday, right? You don't know what to say right now because I got you. I got you. Like you. I don't think you care about your job. That's what I think, and I'm wound up about it. Everyone shows up to work Monday, except Brandon Brackens and Willie, my two people who I'm supposed to be able to count on. And a supervisor has to go run a route. And that bothers me. I'm sorry. It's an expectation of the job to be at work. And I don't think you thought much of calling in. I think you thought, I'm just going to call them up and tell them I'm not coming. And I guess I want to hear what you have to say about it.
Brian, this conversation is kind of awkward. I mean, you seem mad and like.
I'm upset because I don't think you playing for the team.
Well, is it another day we probably could talk? Because I know you seem kind of frustrated, like.
No, I'm fine.
Or something.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You all right?
Oh, I'm good.
I mean, like I said, like I don't.
I want to find out if you want to work here or not. Because you don't seem like you do, and you can't answer that question. You haven't said, oh, Brian, I really like my job, I want my job. This came up all of a sudden, and I couldn't make it to work. You haven't said anything.
Brian, I was out of town. What you want me to do?
I want you to, when did you make this plan to be out of town?
This was last week. Planned since last week.
So you texted on Sunday when you knew a week ago that you weren't going to be at work?
Well, I mean, hey.
You mean yes. That's what you mean.
What you mean?
So you knew a week ago.
No, I mean, I had something planned up that I was going to be taking, like, this weekend to go out of town.
You had no intentions a week ago of coming in Monday, is what you just told me.
For the whole week? No, not like that, Brian.
So when did you make the plan to go out of town for the weekend?
It was like probably like Tuesday or Wednesday when it came to my head.
And you let us know on Sunday that you wouldn't be at work.
I had to see how my work week was going to plan out. Because, I mean, I didn't know if something was going to change up or anything.
Wouldn't you think it would be nice if we knew how to plan out our work week? How do we plan out our work week when we don't get notified until Sunday that you're not coming to work the day before a holiday?
Brian, what is this conversation leading to, though?
It's leading to me asking you why you weren't at work.
Because, I mean, I come to work every day, Brian. I come to work every day.
Okay.
I work my tail off, and you know that.
This is not about your work when you're here. I'm asking you, you called in the Friday after Thanksgiving. You called in right around holidays twice. And I'm trying to find out why.
Brian,
You made a plan, and I don't think you considered work very hard in that plan. That's all I'm saying. And I'm doing it calmly. I haven't raised my voice at all.
No, it's not about raising no voice or nothing like that. It's just that we need to come to an agreement as far as what's going on. Because I mean,
I got my boss asking me, well, why wasn't he at work? And I said, well, because he said he was out of town. That's all I know. So I got Joe asking me, well, what do you mean out of town? And I'm like, well, I don't know. I said, this is the second holiday that he's called in around the holiday. I said, this is the second time Willie has called in around the holiday. I said, I'm concerned. So he's asking me questions, and I'm trying to get my boss answers because I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right for other people to be here. It's Christmas Eve. None of us would I have liked to have closed this place down? Unfortunately, that's not the business we're in. You know? And I've been in it for 30 years because I work for Coke and we worked Christmas Eve. But I guess I'm trying to find out, and you're pretty much admitted telling me that either Tuesday or Wednesday of the week before you knew you weren't coming to work Monday. You had made a conscious decision that you weren't going to be at work, and you decided to notify your employer the day before. That is exactly what you just told me. Fair enough?
well, Brian, it just fault me missing a one day. That's what this all is pertaining about.
It's about the fact that the TWIC card too.
Yeah, no.
You lost your TWIC card.
Right.
I don't know what effort's taken place to get that TWIC. The conversation we had with you, Brandon, Willie, and here before was to express to you guys, we rely on you guys. You guys are supposed to be our go-to guys. And sometimes I don't feel like every time, this goes back to the weekend thing. You haven't done a cruise ship, and I couldn't tell you how long. We got to scrounge to find other guys. And I'm not saying you got to do it every week, but right now you can't do it at all.
Yeah, I don't have a TWIC card.
Right.
And like I was saying,
But what are we doing to get the TWIC? I've offered to pay back the TWIC. Do I need to front the money for the TWIC?
No, I mean, the check's supposed to be coming in soon.
Can you swap auction for me Saturday morning?
Not this week, though. Probably next week.
Not this week. Okay.
Brian, you seem frustrated, man. Can we just do this another time? Because like I said, you seem frustrated.
I'm extremely frustrated. I'm not denying that at all.
But you said you weren't frustrated at first.
I said I wasn't raising my voice. I am frustrated. I'm frustrated because the people I want to rely on to be at work, my two swings called in the day before the holiday. I haven't had the conversation with anybody else yet because I haven't bumped into them. I happened to bump into you.
Well,
and I was looking for somebody to swap auctioner Saturday because I'm struggling to find somebody. Willie's been doing it, but Willie can't, which I think he's been doing it. So I said, well, let me ask Brandon. And I kind of had a feeling of the answer I was going to get. And I got what I thought I was going to, I got the answer I guess I was expecting.
So I'm basically being picked on, really, right?
You're not being picked on.
That's what it seemed like, Brian.
It is not.
I mean, that's what it seemed like being picked on.
I am trying to. What do you mean being picked on?
Man, like you called me in a meeting. Oh well, this little meeting here, and
let me explain something. Picked on is if I'm trying to single you out for doing something you didn't do. I'm trying to get to the bottom of a situation that you weren't here the Monday before the holiday, and what happened with that. And I'm trying to get to the bottom of the situation with the missing TWIC card.
My TWIC card got lost in Mississippi.
That's what you told me. It's an expectation of the job. You're looking at that and you're not even paying attention.
I'm listening to you.
You're saying, let's go back to it because I don't think I'm picking on you. I'm trying to explain to you the expectations of the job. The expectation is that you have that TWIC card. So when you don't have that TWIC card, that's a problem. Okay? Because not everybody has them. We rely on you guys to help with the cruise ship business. To help with maybe the one-offs where somebody might need a TWIC card because not every driver has a TWIC card. And I especially rely on you guys to cover for guys who are out. It's a holiday week. We built some extra routes. We had an extra route yesterday. We had an extra route today because we had to back up Rapide. We had to back up Cabrini a day because we wanted to close for Christmas. Hey, I went and spent time with my family. But I just don't think that you were very considerate on Christmas Eve. to call in like that when you knew either Tuesday or Wednesday before that you weren't gonna be here. I have this same conversation with other people who have called in. I'm not picking you out. I've got another team member that has called in a lot, and we've brought him in and spoken to him too and said, what's going on? It's not singling out, it's trying to find out what's going on. Put yourself in my shoes, okay? Let's just back this up for a second. And it's Brandon's company. You got 10 drivers working for you. You got 10 routes. Aren't you expecting everybody to come to work? That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to get you to see the predicament it puts us in. Does that make any sense at all? If you knew Tuesday or Wednesday, and if I knew, I might have been able to do something about it. But instead, it left me at 4 o'clock on Sunday trying to get a hold of Knox and saying, Knox, can you work? And Knox is like, man, I could probably do something only in the morning. And, Knox was trying to help me out. But I was in a spot. But if I'd have gone to Knox on Wednesday and said, hey, Knox, can you work Monday? Can you run university? I would have had a better chance for Knox to say yes. But I didn't get that opportunity to plan. Does that make better sense? You knew all along you weren't coming to work. But you didn't share that information. Because you knew it probably wasn't exactly the right thing to do. Yeah,
That's what you're saying. I mean, that ain't.
No, I'm asking you what you think. I'm asking if you think that's the right thing to do.
Brian, I mean, it's not my intention. I mean, if I was out of town, I was out of town. I mean, then I had a sick day. Come on now. I mean, what's wrong with using a sick day? If I have it, I mean.
I told Chris I'm not convinced you have it because it looked like you're 8 hours overdrawn on vacation.
Okay. Not on vacation.
Okay. I'm gonna leave that between you and Chris. But
yeah,
I don't think you're understanding where I'm coming from, though. I really don't. So because you had a personal day, and it was the day before the day before Christmas, it's not a problem. I'm just gonna call my work and say I can't come to work. Is that what you're? I'm trying to gather what you're telling me.
Brian, I don't even see where this is going. Like, I mean, that's what I'm trying to find out.
I don't know how I could have better explained it. Where this is going is just me trying to find out what's going on. I'm trying to find out why did Brandon Brackens call in on the Monday before Christmas at the last minute. Questions I've asked all sorts of people when they call in sick. Especially when you're giving up holiday pay. But that's between you and whomever. That's your personal decision.
Right.
It's your personal decision to call in, but when it affects our business and the way we operate, it affects us all the time when people call in. Not everybody can plan, but you stood there and told me that you knew 4 or 5 days ahead of time that you weren't going to be here. And you could have at least shared that with us as your employer. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And now you don't see it that way. I think you're a good worker, Brandon.
I know I'm a good worker. I bust my ass. I know that.
This isn't about that.
But it seems like I don't get no recognition for that though. I'm always getting bashed and always calling
Always getting bashed. This is the second time that I've spoken to you one-on-one, or the other time was in a group with the swing drivers or whatever. And you think that I'm picking on you. But I'm asking questions that I ask of everybody.
We just have a big meeting and we could just ask all the questions we can.
Why do I need to ask a big meeting? I got people who show up to work every day. I don't need to ask them why they weren't here. I'm just asking you. But you think I'm picking on you.
Brian, that's the way I feel right now, though.
I think it's a fair question for me to ask why you're not at work. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think there's any part right now where you understand where I'm coming from, or where the company is coming from, because I'm trying to ask these questions on behalf of the company. I'm trying to figure out if there's something going on with Brandon that he didn't want to tell us ahead of time. I know you're dying to go, so if that's what you prefer to do.
No, I mean, you talking. I mean, I'm not gonna just leave like that. I don't do that.
What do you need help from me to get your twit card?
I'm just waiting on my check to come. That's all.
I mean, I'll put up the $130 and give it to you. And get it back from the company. Because, I mean, I told you already, the company would pay for your twit card.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm waiting on that check to come back because the check was actually in Chris' name.
Right, I thought Chris signed it over to you.
No.
That's what he told me, and that you took it to the bank, didn't understand that it was his signature on it, and that you wrote void on it. Is that not what happened?
No, the check was in his name, and I told him it wasn't supposed to be in his name.
Yeah, but he had signed it, which makes it a valid check. Well, that's beside the point at this point. That's water under the bridge. Can I get you to at least say that it would have been nice to know ahead of time?
All right, well, next time, y'all know ahead of time. Sound better?
Yeah, but I want you to understand why. I think if you knew, then it would have been nice to share. That's all.
Brian, there's a lot of things. I mean, I don't know when somebody called in.
No, agreed.
And I mean, I come in there and find out the last minute, or anything.
No,
So, I mean, I don't, like I said.
we have a situation tomorrow. I think the route you're on, it's an unplanned time. Yeah, I think you're on Dwayne's tomorrow. Isn't that Dwayne's route?
That's what I was trying to see.
And I don't want to share people's personal business, but I had this, you think you're being singled out. I had this conversation with Dwayne yesterday. I said, Dwayne, you can't come to me on Wednesday and tell me you can't be here. So I mean, I'm pretty sure it's Dwayne's route. New Orleans Hospital.
Yeah.
DeVita, like on Reed and all that stuff. I guess what I'm trying to do is tell you that we need to be able to rely on you.
Brian, I'm gonna tell you like this. I pull my weight. That's all I can tell you.
Oh God, if I pull my weight, that'd be a lot. That was a joke by myself. You're not in the mood to laugh because why?
It's bad weather and stuff like that. That's all.
You don't live in Canada, do you? Did you see that video this morning?
I ain't really had time to watch no videos.
You heard about the power outage on Williams?
Yeah, the blackout.
They had a video on WWL that, Michael Bird showed it to me.
Oh.
And, it is, you can watch the transformers like in a domino effect blowing. A live video. It looks like a fireworks show.
Check it out.
It was still, it's on WWL. It's all over. All right. Is there something you want to share with me? I mean, I know, other than that, I know you think that I was picking on you, but believe me, I had the same conversation with someone else yesterday. I shouldn't have named who, but
it's everything good.
it's a
I'll
hard week
just have
because
to
we're
give y'all a heads
rescheduling.
up. That's
What's
all.
that?
I say I'll just have to give y'all a heads up.
Not all the time can you give us a heads up, but I had a feeling you knew. No one makes a plan, because I got my boss saying, well, what do you mean? What does he mean out of town? He must have planned that. It's like, well, I don't know, so I'm going to ask. Because I sent Joe an email Sunday saying, Chris Perez is on a truck. We've had 3 call-ins for Monday. So one guy got stabbed, one guy is out of town, and another guy had to take his doctor, wife to the doctor. That's all I know. I don't typically ask too many questions when people call in, but I've got other people asking. And people do get sick. It happens.
Right.
Don't deny that. I just thought this situation was odd that you said out of town. Because that's not sudden unless you miss a plane to return. And I think I found out that you did plan to be out of town, and we just weren't notified till Sunday about that plan. And I think that's the gist of what I was trying to get at, and that's kind of what you told me. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk. I wish you'd have sat down and relaxed.
I've been sitting down all day, Brian.
I hope not.
Yeah, I've been sitting down all day. Working in rain.
Well, that's not sitting down, though. Would you at least shake my hand on your way out?
All right.
Willie,
How you doing?
I'm all right. You got a moment?
Yeah, so
Let me just see you for a second.